Hello, welcome to Fiery Fridays. Sam and Kate
Hi guys.
with you and with the fire. We have a beautiful fire behind us in our little special spot that we do our broadcast from.
Should we look at the fire?
Yeah.
There it is. You need to move over, Sam. Ah, there it is. Crackling away. Ah, that feels nice.
It does.
Goodness. Oh, look, Mum's watching. Hey,
Hey.
Mum. That's nice.
Yeah, so today we're going to have a chat and a connection, just a connection space via the fire, probably a slow burn chat.
Slow
Nice and
burn.
calm. A little bit different
Yeah.
to the crazy that's going on.
Yep.
But we wanted to, at the start here, give a big shout out to our PowerQuest crew who we were talking to last night on Zoom and who are doing a 3-week journey with us at the moment. So super excited to share that space with them. It's actually really therapeutic to have an online program going on at the moment because we can have connection
Yes.
with people
Yes.
and do some really good work together.
My phone that we look at the comments on has just kaputzed.
Died.
I don't know why. It's just suddenly. So we just ignore that.
Yeah.
But hello to Michelle.
Hey, Michelle.
Hello to Carmel and
Sally.
Sally.
Hey, Sally.
Hey guys, so good to see you. Let us know where you're watching from for our slow burn Fiery
Fiery
Fridays.
Fridays.
And there's Ruth.
Hey, Ruth.
So sorry, Sam. So PowerQuest.
PowerQuest crew, yeah, just saying how we appreciate you guys too, because it's given us an opportunity to have connection at this time and do some really important work together. Yes.
That's the slow Fiery Fridays. Uh-oh. We've actually been talking about appreciating having a space and sharing it with you where we can just be a little bit mellow. It's been big this week. Oh, Susan, Geelong, very cool.
Nice.
That's great.
Yeah.
Geelong down in Victoria.
Yes.
That's a long way away. We've actually got we've got someone from New Zealand actually doing the PowerQuest, which is really cool. But yeah, taking it slow.
Yeah.
See, it's one of those Fridays. Everything's been really crazy this week.
Yeah.
And that fire there is making a lot of sense to me right now.
Yeah. Chrissy, she's
Hi,
in Brisbane.
Chrissy.
And Sally's in lockdown Lismore. she called
Lockdown
it.
Lismore.
Yay. I thought you were in Tasmania for some reason.
Maybe she's back.
Maybe you're back or you moved, or for some reason I thought you were from Tassie. Anyway.
Lockdown Lismore.
Yeah.
That's great. Oh, Naela, hello. All these beautiful people we haven't seen for ages. And see, this is the positive
Totally.
side of the digital realm.
It is, for sure.
I'm wondering though if back in Lismore.
Back in Lismore.
Yep.
Yeah.
We wanted to touch on the topic of cultural grief. So I'm wondering if everyone who's joined us may not be interested in hearing a little bit about that. Where, we've just been really mindful. Oh, it's like a never-ending waves of stuff going on. And I've been casting my mind back to where it felt like this all began. The situation we're in now, I feel, began back when we had that big drought. And this was something that was quite devastating to a lot of the country, particularly here in New South Wales. This beautiful waterhole just behind us was bone dry. And in other waterholes around, there were fish or eels dying and no longer being able to survive. And then, of course, we had the horrific fires, and that was fracturing enough. And then we had the flood, and then we had coronavirus, and that was last year in like March, I think it was. And now fast forward, and this is August. And it's a lot. It really is a lot. And so a lot of people in our community have been expressing to us lately that they're really feeling a sense of cultural grief. And we wanted to speak to that because I think that it's something that's, no matter what side of the fence you're on, in terms of what you believe we should be doing to move forward and, you know, create cohesion in our communities. Yeah, cultural grief is something that seems to reach into anybody who feels they have a emotional connection to the planet. So
Absolutely.
that's your cue.
Sustained stress. Yeah, totally. It's been. It's like the foot hasn't been taken off the pedal since the drought, and so there hasn't been a time to catch your breath, to really actually integrate what a big experience is. Even just the drought, but particularly the bushfires. There's not been a gap where we could have just had months or years to just integrate that experience. I don't know, it depends on your personal experience to the bushfires, but even for us, we didn't get fire right here, but it was super close.
Yep.
We were at home, we were meant to evacuate, but we chose not to, and we were just preparing. And even the kids felt super anxious. They were really unsettled, and we were too. And so then also in the aftermath of the fires, the actual seeing the devastation on an ecological level is grief-stricken. It is. It actually feels like absolute genuine grief just from the loss. So. But the problem, we didn't have that time just to integrate, and so then we rolled into the next thing, which here was flooding. We had a lot of flooding that was quite hard and challenging. And then, like you said, Kate, we rolled into the coronavirus paradigm
Situation
that we're in now, and that's
one.
definitely been sustained in terms of pressure on people. So not given enough time to recover, it is difficult for people, and I think that's what we're seeing and hearing and feeling in the community, is that people are saying, hey, I'm really like struggling. I know friends of mine, family members are all expressing like they're feeling the pressure.
Because cultural grief is not just about our culture, it's also about how our culture is in relationship to the non-human world and the human world, and how it all interconnects together. And there's nothing like global and systemic crisis to really affect the individual. And one of the ways in which people feel cultural grief is helplessness, hopelessness, anxiety, a feeling of nervousness. So waking up and your nervous system's on alert, and obviously grief and sadness. It can also go into fear and anger as well. And so it becomes an actual mental health issue. Particularly if you deeply feel, and I tell you right now, so our community, we deeply feel, you deeply feel, and that's what makes you interested in connecting to nature and being a change agent in nature. But this is the double-edged sword of that sensitivity, is that then when these things happen, which are also could be looked upon as global transformational events, it is difficult to hold our centre and refresh our nervous system to stay fresh or buoyant in it, to see the big picture while we're in it, walking one foot in front of the other. So
Yeah, totally. There was, Lisa put up a personal experience here about the fire that I thought was interesting. Yeah, so Lisa's saying they had 3 months of being surrounded by fires, so totally nerve-wracking. I still can't look at the footage on the TV. Yeah, so it's traumatic, and it was sustained. That was unprecedented in this country,
horrible.
and so it definitely genuinely said it impacted people.
I saw a David Attenborough doco last night about climate change and it was kind of had a positive bent to it, but they showed the coral bleaching in the Great Barrier Reef. They showed the fires and the poor animals all burnt and charred, and I was like, whoa, and it flooded all back to me just how intense this period, and that was like over, not last year but the year before. Yeah, that's a long time to sustain
totally
worrying about things.
So even before Corona, we were already a little bit on edge, you know, culturally, as a community we were, but definitely I think it's come to a real knife edge or a real precipice now when there's such a environment of uncertainty too. So the other thing that's happening now that can cause a lot of distress is the lack of solid ground under your feet in terms of not knowing what's going to happen next week. Are we in lockdown? Are we not in lockdown? How many cases we got? Like, what's going to happen next? Am I going to be forced to do this? There's all these sort of uncertainties in the air, and that makes it very difficult to just come into that calm state, for sure.
So our proposition today is about remembering your best strategies to not get stuck in the grief part. So cultural grief, I think we both feel is appropriate to go into those places, is appropriate and valid in the face of what we have been experiencing. It's only when we get stuck there that it becomes a negative, because our nervous system can't replenish, and we just lose sense of our individual story being in balance with the big collective story. So that's our reminder, and someone's already preempted. I think Lisa was saying, I've been lying flat on the ground, heart to earth to download.
Yeah, that's nice.
That is such a beautiful technique, and that's a strategy right there, an amazing grounding strategy. If anyone else has any that they've been using, feel free to put them in the comments, because this could be an amazing thing to inspire somebody else to do the same thing. And I feel like that too, Lisa. I went for a walk on the beach with my daughter Ella the other day, who happens to be loving lockdown because she's not at school. My kids are happy about it.
Yeah.
But we're only a week in, so. But yeah, just being outside, and I just needed to feel surrounded by, I just needed wind all around me and sun, and to hear the ocean, and for that to be the dominant story that I found myself in. So it wasn't the news or the story that everybody else is talking about. Nature became the big story, and that really helped my nervous system as well.
Yeah.
So that's another strategy.
Yeah, well, the major strategy that we're going to talk about today is solo time in nature. So actually getting your own space in nature, and it can feel a little bit challenging to actually take that step, to take yourself out of the situation, out of the home, out of the family dynamic, whatever it is, from work, away from work, and just actually have some time alone in nature where you can really let go of the story and kind of shield yourself from the media and social media, for example, and you can actually come into a different rhythm, and your nervous system does have that chance to regulate.
Yeah. Remember that your individual nervous system is not isolated. So all of the most advanced neurological studies and biological nervous system studies at the moment are proving through science that my nervous system here is actually connected to Sam's here and connected to the environment that we're in as well. It's a little bit like, some of you might have seen the mycelium network with everyone's discovering that fungus or fungi under the ground have a network of connections. So the trees use that to talk to each other, and there's an energetic way that we do that too. It's invisible to us, but it's very real. And so if you're able to move, that's nice. This is a bird coming through. If you're able to move out of the dominant story, if it's not comfortable and it's not supporting you, but into nature, then you, like a tuning fork, will tune to the natural world. And that's a very, very eternal and supportive and calming place to connect with, rather than, nerve-wracking. Hey, Megan, howdy. What did Melissa say?
She said we've been cold swimming. It's hard, but we always feel stronger.
Ooh, I like that.
Braver, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Great way, because this is Melissa, what you're getting at too is when you do solo time in nature, you're getting into your body and out of your head.
Yeah.
And so cold swimming is one of the best ways to shut down your mind and come straight into the body, but you're in your sensory body. And that, again, is a great way to calm the nervous system down. Even if it's hard and challenging, like cold swimming, being embodied, whether it's just taking a walk in nature, doing cold swimming, working on a skill with your hands, gets you out of your head. And a lot of the distress comes from the stories in our head. You know, it comes from the emotions that are generated are from the actual stories in the head, and if we get out of the story, the truth in the body is beyond the story, and it's a lot safer. So yeah, definitely cold swimming.
Let's see. Hi everyone who's joined us. Niall saying yes to solo time in nature, as I heard Jane Goodall on a radio interview yesterday. She said, when one is alone in nature, one forgets about being human. One is simply immersed in nature.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
But what a risky proposition to forget the human world and instead to immerse in the natural world. And it can be a bit scary. The mind can freak out at that concept. And I think that's the threshold that you're talking about, people needing to move through. So having the courage just to try and be curious, what can nature offer you at times like this? And to turn the phones off. Turn us off.
Yeah.
As soon as this is over, turn us off and take your shoes off.
Yeah.
Or put your socks on only if it's cold or if you're not sure about bare feet. And just walk outside onto the grass or go to a park or go to a reserve or national park or whatever you can manage and just see what happens, because this is not magical, imagined stuff. This is very, very real and real and powerful. This is what this is my skill, this is my string bag, the never-ending string bag that just never ever seems to grow longer than this, but I'm dedicating lockdown now, there's my string bag, to actually making string and getting it. I'm trying to get it like that fast, and maybe if everyone encourages me, I'll actually manage to do it. Oh dear, who else have we got here? Oh, Michelle's saying, me too, Melissa. Early morning when wake up. You guys are hardcore.
Yeah, that's great.
Wow, I love it.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Back to Nature on ABC. Yeah, I've heard about that, Lisa. It's this ABC TV show.
Okay.
My mum recommended we watch it, and apparently it's like slow TV.
Nice.
It's just like this.
Yeah, great. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Oh, there you go. Bethany, beautiful Bethany.
Yeah, choose your own story.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, totally. And that's really important at the moment, because there's a lot of stories, a lot of powerful narratives that are being presented through media, social media, normal conventional media, alternative media, lots of very charged stories. And to be able to choose your own story is so empowering, but to do that we have to remove ourselves unplug from those sources. I know I've had a dramatic experience recently where we've been at a program, and this is while all this craziness has been going on, and got to the program a few days in, completely forgot about the rest of the world, immersed with what was in front of us in the moment. The truth of what was real for us in that moment was just what was there in the space, and we shared beautiful days of connection and learning and whatever, and felt completely relaxed. And then we got out and we got to a servo and we saw all the masked people and saw that there's still
energy. We hit the energy,
and there was still a big story, and it was really dramatic to see the two different nervous system reactions from being in nature with great humans, just focusing on what's in front of us, not going into stories or analysing or all the stuff, but just being there in the moment. And then it was fantastic. And then when we got out and really hitting the other energy was very dramatic. So just to see the contrast was very telling.
Yep. So I think this is just a reminder, what we really wanted to do is offer a free community call where, and we'll announce it next week. We'll put a link at the bottom of this video when we post it about how to join us for it. But we just wanted to offer a space where we could talk about, as a community, what strategies are working to stay grounded, to stay in your personal power. That call will not be about politics. It will not be about who's on what side. No. It's actually about cohesion, inclusiveness, and we just love connecting whenever we do the free calls anyway. Yeah. It's just so nice, and it's all about the community that this is a movement, nature philosophy, nature connection. It's about reimagining how can we live in right relationship. Things like this massive environmental disasters, health disasters, global health issues and crisis. These things are symptoms of being out of right relationship with the planet, and also with each other. And so we really wanted to create a space where we could feel like we're powerful change agents again, despite what's going on in the dominant world. So we invite you to join us for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll count me in, Lisa, saying
Yeah.
that's great. Yay.
It'll all be focused on what unites us, not what divides us too. So it's about what
Yes.
we can experience as humans that'll help us out, no matter what our different opinions are. Like, it's just about those common elements of being able to stay grounded as a human. What do we need to stay grounded, and in what sort of relationship, like you spoke to, do we need to be in with the environment so that we're in harmony?
So it's if you want to sort of beat the drum of an opinion, that's not the call to come to, because that won't be what it's about. Awesome, guys. We were going to do a Rites of Passage community call originally, so maybe after that we can plan to connect and do something about Rites of Passage. We have a heartfelt connection to creating Rites of Passage as parents for our children, as we're not waiting for some outside force or person to come and show us how to do it, but to actually do that in our family and have meaningful rites of passage as our kids are getting older. So we wanted to share that journey with everyone and just encourage us all to do that. So maybe we'll do that later on
That's
as well.
definitely one for later. We don't want to let that one go. We had that one planned, but when we felt into it, we were like, maybe this is what we really need right now is more more tribe, more community. And the rites of passage, we both feel very passionately about that. And the beauty of that, the encouraging thing about that, is we don't actually need to wait for a culture to provide the rites of passage. There are really great, simple and effective ways you can do this within your own family, for your own kids or nephews and nieces, or just friends. We can actually create those containers for our young people again and reimagine, redream that.
Hello everyone who's joined us. Should we have a little fire? The fire's just kicking away, listening to everything that we're all sharing in. It's amazing to think that that fire is the same fire that was from the beginning, where fire began. When the lightning made fire. And then we worked out how to make fire. And now here it is.
It's the same consciousness.
Turn the switch of the light on and that's the same.
Yeah.
Just doesn't feel the same.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But even fire, that's another great grounding tool. Just sitting by yourself by a fire in silence.
Yeah.
Connecting with the fire is another great way to regulate the nervous system. So you're co-regulating with the fire. And that's beautiful.
Caveman TV. It's one of the best channels to get on. Feels so nice. Feeling so calm. Oh, it's so good. Hey, so what were you thinking?
You're all right.
We had a little. We're looking down because we've got to mention it.
This one, I was going to talk about this one.
This is exciting.
We've got are we up to that?
This is our big final point. Yeah, sure, we're up to this. Yeah. Starseed. Oh, hey, Starseed Watson. So true. Love watching the flames. Me too.
Yeah.
And the smoke.
We're moving into an exciting phase in our life and with our vision around nature philosophy. We're actually looking finally for what we're calling our forever home. So a piece of land that can house, can hold, can be the container for our vision moving forward. So we've just started in a really serious way looking for land to buy that we can set up our vision on. And so we've done that in many different places over the last however many years that we've been doing this.
17 years.
Yeah, a long time. And so we've been on pieces of country for periods of time, and we've formed a beautiful connection with that land. And in some ways, there's been incredible healing for the land when we've interacted with it in that way, not because of us, but because of all the people that have come and done ceremony and have gone out and have done sit spot after sit spot and appreciated and looked at the birds and wanted to know what the bird is, and really actually noticing the land and interacting with it in a dynamic way. So this piece of land will be no different. And in a lot of ways, because we can really craft and shape that relationship and have continuity into the future years, it's exciting. So it's going to be our home base. So we're on the hunt.
Well, but just to clarify, not our home base, like our home base, like the
Community.
Nature Philosophy's program home base. And often people think it means we're going to live there. We'll definitely have a shelter and a space to camp, there's no doubt, but we don't want to make it our home. We want to make it the home of the vision of Nature Philosophy. And we want to hold that land in a way where you can come, and if you're called by your soul level rightness to come and work with us, you can come and have a solid connection to country, and we can start to really seed in a different way again, a whole nother level of cultural regeneration through the programs that we offer. So it's really exciting. So if you know any land,
we would love to stay in the same region that we're in. So
Gumbaynggirr country.
Gumbaynggirr, and basically a radius of up to 2 hours from Coffs Harbour Airport would be great. Anywhere in that sort of range would be fantastic. So a lot of places are found not through the real estate and being on the market and online, but often through friends or people that know someone that has a place in a valley over there. And so it's worth us putting it out to the community and see what comes back, so.
We'll put another post out about it though in like a week or two as well, and if anyone sees that and then you get an inkling of a connection for us, we'd really appreciate it.
Yeah, totally.
Awesome. Well, I think that was pretty much it. We just rocketed through the list. So amazing, so great. Nice to see everybody.
Yeah.
Well, so it sounds like from here, it's focusing on grounding. What works for you, and what do you need to do for yourself to create an environment at home where you can carve the time out to give that to yourself. That's the bit that I struggle with the most. It's like I know what works for me, but getting away from the kids' needs, getting away from our work, just the household stuff and just life and the big story, and then getting out the door. And that's, for me, that's the hardest bit. So you know what you need to do, but also how do you create the trigger for you to get support to go and take that time for yourself. So we'd love to encourage you guys to do that, and feel free to let us know how you go. Yeah, we're always love to hear from you.
Totally.
Yep. Message us, info@naturephilosophy.com.au.
Yep.
Yep. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah. Nervous system regulation.
I feel good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I feel really inspired.
Yeah.
Thank you, fire.
Thanks to the fire.
Beautiful, beautiful. Beautiful fire.
Yeah.
In this land.
And thank you to all of you guys who've joined us and tuned in, whether you're here live right now or it's a recording. It's great to see you, and
Yep.
yeah.
We'll connect soon.
Yep.
Go well.
All right. Bye.